next guest leads a vegan lifestyle, and in her new book, Veganist, Lose Weight, Get Healthy, Change the World, she shares important information that will change the way you eat. I am very delighted that she's here today. Please welcome back to our show, Kathy Freston. Nice to have you. Great.
Nice to be here.
So you're on the New York Times bestseller list. Yes. You're way up there on Amazon, and the book is doing very, very well. And I want to know what compelled you to become a vegan. What was that moment?
God, the moment I think was, I actually looked at my dog and I thought, I love my dog so much, and then what's the difference in this dog and a little chick or a cow? Just because I know my dog and I don't know those animals. So I thought, I want to move toward not eating animals. But then I started doing the research, and I realized that eating a vegan diet is so much healthier than eating meat and dairy. So it sort of propelled me to go forward. The more that I learned, the more I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. And I just kept leaning more away from animals and into vegan.
What do you think is the biggest misconception about being a vegan?
Well, there are two that I can tell you. The biggest misconception...
Can you say being a vegan? Are you a vegan or are you vegan?
Both.
It's both. It's both a noun and an adjective.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. I think the biggest misconception is that you don't get enough protein. And actually, Americans get twice as much protein as they actually need and should have. So being vegan, you get plenty of protein just from the seitan and tofu and beans and legumes.
So do you eat the seitan that we just made? Oh, you do?
Love seitan. And you know what? I loved watching you do that, because when I used to cook, I kind of hated the feeling of all that chicken juice and the gristle, and I was like, this is blood, I don't love this. I'm watching you cook the seitan, and it was like, oh my God, that's amazing. I don't feel the ick factor from it, you know?
And not only the ick factor, I mean, I had dinner at my daughter's the other night. You met Alexis.
Yes.
You're on her show. And she's a vegan, and she won't even have meat in the house.
Yeah, yeah.
And now with a new baby, you know, I wonder, is the baby going to be a vegan?
Yeah. Oh.
Have you raised your children?
Just so you know, I don't have kids, but just so you know, the American Dietetic Association says that a vegan and vegetarian diet is healthy for any age, whether it's a lactating mother, a baby, an old person, and in fact, it's not only as good as eating meat and dairy, but it's actually better because you have lower rates of obesity, heart disease, some types of cancer, and it's just healthy all around.
Were humans born carnivores?
That's a question I hear all the time.
Right.
Actually, humans were born to just be able to eat anything to survive. Omnivores, right? But that doesn't mean that it's optimal. So now we have so many choices, all these plant-based foods.
Chomping on those bones, probably better to chomp on a pineapple.
Exactly.
Right.
And you know what? We have different bodies than a carnivore, because our teeth are made to grind.
Yes.
We don't have
nuts and the seeds.
And we don't have claws and talons to hold down prey and rip open their skin. We don't have the acid in our stomach to be able to digest raw meat. We have a very long, curvy intestine, where a carnivore, a cat, has a very short intestine, so the meat can go straight through. So our bodies actually thrive with things that grow on the trees and in the ground.
So actually, Kathy, your knowledge impresses me a lot, and that's what's in this book. I mean, all these good facts that will actually really educate you about the vegan prospect for a good lifestyle.
Yes.
It's really interesting.
Thank you.
And your book is organized into 10 promises.
Yes.
So talk about those.
Well, the reason I organized it into the promises is because, you know, when you showed the definition at the beginning of the show, the word strict, that drives me crazy, because for me, it's not strict. For me, it's all about the positives that you get from this. I lose weight. So when you're on a vegan eating plan, it's just the weight comes off easily, because there's no cholesterol, there's not a lot of fat naturally in vegan food. You get much less saturated fat. It's full of fiber, so it fills the stomach and you feel full. The brain says, oh, I have enough food, so you're not constantly hungry. And check this out, when you eat a vegan diet, it's so high in its thermic effect. So for 3 hours after eating a vegan meal, you burn calories 16% faster.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, so the weight loss just happens. So that's one promise. Another promise is the prevention and reversal of disease. Not only prevention, but you can reverse type 2 diabetes. You can reverse heart disease. People go off their medications.
Very persuasive.
Yeah.
And, well, I thought that I would show you a very quick and easy recipe for a healthy fruit and nut bar, because you're eating a lot of granola, right? You're eating lots of fruits and nuts. This is just just puts it all into a nice bar that
Oh.
you could actually use for your hikes and
Love
for after exercise.
Love it.
And I think it's really delicious. So it's all made in this bowl, very simply. But first, you start with dates. Dates really is your binder.
Love.
And cook the dates, take out the pits, and run them through a food processor. So
okay.
that's the date.
All right.
Okay, so we're just going to add this to the bowl.
They're so sweet.
Yeah, they're very
Love
sweet. This is the
dates.
natural sugar, too.
Yeah.
That is awfully
Yeah.
good for you. 1.5 cups of, you want to stir while I add?
Sure.
1.5 cups of old-fashioned rolled oats.
Oh, so healthy. All that fiber.
1/2 cup of chopped pecans.
Protein.
So, yeah. 1/3 cup of dried papaya.
Delish.
And 1/2 cup of ground pecans toasted.
So good.
Oh, see?
I'm gonna take these
if
on
you
my
say
hike.
that about every single thing that you put in this, you're going to want to eat this too. 1/3 cup of dried cherries.
And there's no fat in this.
No,
There's
no.
nothing.
1/4 cup of ground macadamia nuts. Well, macadamia nuts are fatty.
But a good fat, yeah.
And, 1/4 cup of chopped macadamias.
Delicious.
And 1/3 cup of dried blueberries. There you get your antioxidants.
Right.
And now here's your flour, if you want to call it flour.
Yeah.
2 tablespoons of oat bran. 2 tablespoons of wheat germ. Ooh, cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon.
Controls the sugar.
Yeah. And flaxseed, 3 tablespoons of grind and don't cook.
Right. And that's great for the omega-3s.
Yeah.
Much friendlier than getting them
And
from fish.
1/2 teaspoon of salt.
Great.
And then just if the honey will also help bind it together.
Okay.
I'll pour that in.
Okay.
But you have to stir all the way around the bottom.
Okay.
Now, so do you do all your vegan cooking yourself?
I do, and it's very easy. And what I love about this recipe is it's so easy because I'm all about speed
Yeah.
and ease because I'm traveling all the time. So
Now, what about your busy husband?
my busy husband? Because he, I'm the one who does the shopping in the house, so he eats vegan in the house. He's not
good.
vegan, but I say he's veganish. Veganish.
Here,
Okay.
go,
yeah.
Stir all that dried stuff
I
up.
love this. Is almost
See how
done.
nice?
It's so
Yeah.
easy. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
This is
so
great.
as long as that's all incorporated, then you can pour it right into
Okay.
into a pan. Oh, wait a minute. Let me put this in first.
Oh, okay.
This will go in here.
It's protein, fiber, omega-3s.
Yeah. You have pretty much what you need.
Heaven, heaven, heaven.
And just press that down. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. And this is going to cook only for 25 minutes.
I love it. And,
yeah.
and I feel so good about this. It's like no animal was harmed for this, which makes
No.
me so happy.
Just a lot of picking.
yeah.
You pick a lot of blueberries.
That's okay.
A lot of picking, a lot
I
of
like
growing.
that. That's
and then
good.
press this down with like the bottom of this
Okay.
this pan.
Great.
I'll get
Great,
the
great,
rest
great.
of this out. We can't let
Oh my
any of
God,
this
is good.
stay.
And this is the thing about eating vegan is so easy. And I always tell people, they say, oh my God, how do I do it? What do I eat? Just lean into it, So instead of eating, your beef bourguignon one night, you have the seitan. And because most people have a rotation of 7 meals, really, in their family, and
Yeah.
just one by one sort of veganize that meal.
So get the idea of pressing.
And
okay?
this is just,
So
I love
and
it.
you get that into the oven, and
Yeah.
this is what comes out.
Heaven.
So cut it into bars, and
That's a big block of love.
yeah, it is. Well, I think those are big pieces. I would never be able to eat such a big piece.
I would.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. But you can take a big piece, and I'll take a little piece.
Okay.
But this is a beautiful thing, and this will stay very nicely in a
Yeah.
covered jar.
Yeah.
You
My
can-
husband would love
Yeah.
these. All that energy.
Well,
That's
you can take a
fantastic.
block home, okay?
Yes, I would love
and,
that.
Kathy brought a copy of her book, Veganist, Lose Weight, Get Healthy, Change the World, for everyone in our studio audience. Thank you very much. We'll be right back. I want to thank all my guests today, Biz Stone, Kathy Freston, Jean Bauer, and all our remarkable finalists. And thanks to you for watching. Have a great day.